All right.
Okay.
That was one-time thing. Every other day in my life has been one.
One person every day.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who's Beats, your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 3, and let's get right into the video. So after the guys stood up for Sierra chooses Nick. Now we're having the guys having a chat, the girls having a chat. The guys are chatting. You know, Ace first says that, you know, I don't know why Huda is like, you know, saying all real men situation because it's only day 3. Nobody's closed off in this villa. Everybody has a chance to still explore because it hasn't even been a week yet. Like, he's making the most sense.
All y'all to like really like get to know different people. And I really want the same thing for you. I'm dead ass when I say that, you know what I mean?
Really want the same thing for me.
Does anybody feel like Huda is approachable to have a conversation?
And that's okay though. Why is that not okay if we're cool?
Like, even with her sitting here like, damn, y'all doing these ladies like that? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, that's already setting a false narrative that everybody's supposed to be matched in, coupled in off day one.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Taylor's also saying, like, you know, Alondra seemed a little bit upset about him standing up. He doesn't know why Alondra is upset because Alondra kissed Ace in that little challenge. And, you know, or it wasn't even a challenge, but it was like basically a little situation. He didn't get upset. And so why she, you know, she getting upset at him. Then you have both Charlie and Austin kind of like, you know, Austin's like, oh, I really thought she was gonna stood up for you, Charlie, like, you know, and I don't know how to feel. And then Charlie's like, you know, after getting to know Shelly in the hideaway, like, I thought she was stood up for me too, da-da-da-da. So they bonded over Shelly. So now we get over to the girls. So the girls chatting, but, you know, they were basically, Alondra was like, you know, Taylor standing up is kind of like, you know, if that little 5-minute conversation with Sierra made you stood up, like, that says a lot. That says a lot about your character. You know, Shelly, she was very surprised Austin stood up because it was just like, wow. It just felt like it was a slap in the face by Nick because he was saying 50-50, 51-49. Truly, that's what he told the guys. But then him standing up, you know, being all giddy, da-da-da-da, like, Nick is telling the guys too, like, oh, the guy said this is the first time in here they see me all giddy and happy, da-da-da-da. So, you know, we get to Huda confiding in Shelly, basically saying like, oh, I don't know why Alondra called me out like that in front of everybody. Like, you should have pulled me over in private and say that. But I'm just like, you didn't think you saying, you know, you should get real men, like, we need real men, da-da-da-da, like, in front of the whole situation wasn't being, you know, embarrassing. Like, let's think, Huda, like, you saying that should have been in private, what Alondra told you, but you didn't think all that real men chat, like, come on, let's think. So she's crying, then Alondra's talking to Bella, and, you know, Bella's like, you know, maybe you would have came out like you were doing too much. Alondra was not doing too much at all. She basically just said, like, you know, we got it, like, it's okay. Like, I understand you're coming from a place like of trying to be supportive, but like, it is only day 3. Like, we don't need all of that. This is not Casa Amor recoupling. Like, if it was Casa Amor recoupling, then okay, you know, it's been a minute, but this is only day 3. Like, we don't even, like, what's going on here? So anyhow, you know, Alondra, she clocked it.
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, that wasn't my bad.
The first set of tears in the villa is because of me. And I get why she was going in, but I was trying to say, like, we're going to talk about that later. This is going to be a juicy little girls chat later. We're going to save it for them. I feel like a stab through my heart. I'm like, I am not that type of girl. I don't want people to think I'm a mean girl because I am not.
We chat with her, get that cleared up, situated ASAP, because she basically knew that people were going to start calling her mean girl for that, and it was basically nothing of the sort. Like, she was just basically telling Huda to calm down, and Huda's crying and acting like, you know, Alondra did something. You know, she felt like, you know, all the times in her life of trying to put herself out there, like, her standards are very high. You know, people overlook her standards and think, like, you know, since she's not willing to kiss, especially in this villa. But I'm just like, your standards are high, you should not lower your standards, but this is not the villa for you. being real and honest. But you know what? I'm gonna be rooting for you, and I hope, you know, your Christian man comes into that villa for real. But I'm just like, going onto Love Island to look for your Christian man, you should go on The Bachelor, Love is Blind. You probably would have found your man there. I mean, you probably would have found your man there. Love Island's not it. Like, it's really not it. It's very rare. It's very rare. And in this day and age, yeah, no. But you know what? She said she wasn't crying over Nick. She was just crying over the fact that, you know, she got done dirty situation. So, you know, it is what it is. Back to Taylor and Alondra. And I guess, you know, Taylor basically explained to Alondra that, you know, since he didn't get mad at her about the whole Ace kissing situation, then she shouldn't have, like, had that result about, you know, him standing up to get to know Sierra, you know. But, you know, she said, like, you know, since she sees his point of view about that situation, she apologized. I feel like she shouldn't have to apologize. Like, it is what it is. But, like, Alondra, Taylor is not your man either. Like, I'm telling you that. Like, please, like, I don't know what type of connection you have with Taylor, because it's giving dry, it's giving, no, like, we're waiting on your new bombshell to come into that villa for you, because it's not Taylor either. It's just not. So we moving on to this Nick and Bella conversation, and you know, Bella basically telling Nick how she feels, like, you know, really and truly she would probably cut Nick off, but you know, Nick is the only one that she truly likes in that villa. So she's just like, the ball is in his court. If he really wants her, he's gonna have to pursue her or whatever. But she didn't like how he did her. And like, Bella coming like she had that like is she from Toronto? Like, what you talking about? Like, is she from New York? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on here?
My life, and I've been made to look like a fool too many times that I'm not willing to put myself in a position again.
Like, she has that dash. Like, your name is Isabel. Like, just call yourself, oh, what's your Belle-A? Like, no, girl, it's Bella. And the fact that Nick really calls her Belle-A is Belle-Dasha, you know, is kind of crazy, because, you know, she's given that alter ego. So now we get to the nighttime. Everybody's dressing up to get ready for the night. There was like a little clip of Sierra getting ready, and they're like, oh, you look good. And she's like, you know, to keep her man. And then the camera panned to Bella, which I'm just like, girl. But anyway, they're playing this game, basically, like, you know, body count, this, that, all that. You know, they thought that, you know, Austin was some innocent guy, but Austin cheated on somebody 6 times, or cheated 6 times in his life. Over 100 people in his body count, you know, sending pictures all over, like, Austin in the thousands. Like, what? Charlie over here, you know, he's from the UK. We know how the UK men do. Like, he's a 27-year-old UK man, which is kind of like, you know how the UK man do. Like, we just know how the UK man do. Quite obviously. But, so he had like a high body count. He sent a lot of pictures, you know, all that. Jeremiah telling people, 32 people he loved them. Nick over here talking about he sent pictures telling 50 people he loved them, and he's talking about he was gonna try and make some 51. And the funny thing is that, you know, they're trying to give Austin out about his you know, body count, and Austin over here basically was like, no, like, they're like, oh, this happened, you know, a long time ago, and he's like, no, not really. Like, they were just trying to give you an out, and you basically saying, like, just recently you were having, you know, the time of your life. So yeah, so then, you know, basically the guys were kind of given ick a little bit with their results of the situation. The real tea on this whole situation after this whole game is Ace. Since the previous night, Ace has been basically grilling Jeremiah about Huda. He basically was like asking Jeremiah, like, okay, what happens if, you know, a foreign girl comes in to the villa? So Jeremiah is like, you know, that would have to happen, and I switch on Huda. That's what he's, you know, basically telling Ace. then also, he's basically asking Ace, like, about, oh, Huda said she'd been with 2 guys in one night, and Huda basically explained that, the first guy didn't, satisfy her, so she went with the other guy. So Ace is basically saying, like, do you think that she, like, lied to the first guy and said, you did great, and then, went with the second guy? So Jeremiah's like, I'm not worried about that. Like, he put it down. He's like, he put it down. He makes sure everything right, nice, whatever. So Ace is like, but what is she lying to you and saying, like, it's great? He's like, so you think I'm the person that is not gonna, make sure everything's right? So he really like really provoking Jeremiah with these questions. Like,
I'm not trying to be a pick me, but like, I love getting the girls to the finish line, so I'm not worried about.
Okay, so boom, how would you feel if, y'all did, and then she said, y'all, you ain't getting me done, I'm going to someone else?
I'm not worried about that because I will do it. I love learning their body, so I'm not.
But like, you don't think she told the first dude, yeah, that was great?
So you're saying, what if I'm that guy?
Not saying you that guy. I'm just saying, like, how would you feel like if you were in his shoes?
And I'm just like, Ace is really plotting on Huda from Jeremiah, because he really be grilling these questions into Jeremiah about Huda, because he trying to take Huda. Like, he really slick, because how he, doing Shelly, then he asking Jeremiah about Huda, and basically like, oh, they're not closed off. Who's closed off in here? Da-da-da. It's only day 3, only day 4, da-da-da. Like, he's trying to, he's like, is there a way I can speak to Huda? Like, is Huda, even approachable at this point? So he's trying to find a way to get at Huda. So, and I think he already knows Huda has a child, so he's not fazed by that whole situation. So he really trying to get, Jeremiah away from Huda by any means. And he trying to, still entertain Shelly as well. So it's just like, he really think he's slick. And I feel like somewhere down the line is going to be an Ace versus Jeremiah. And that's going to be very interesting to see. We get to the end of the episode. Huda pulls Jeremiah for a chat. They're talking, da-da-da-da. So Huda's basically saying, like, you know what? She first asked Shelly, like, how do you think, I was kind of like worried to tell, Jeremiah about her having a kid. But Shelly's like, no, that's a part of you. You should be proud of it. And if they don't like it, then just keep moving on. Somebody's going to come in here that will be okay with you having a kid. And, I want that in your life. So just tell him about it. Because she should have told him from the jump, because that's very much major information. Keeping that hidden, I mean, that's kind of crazy. But trying to tell him. So anyhow, she's telling, Jeremiah by the dock, like, you know what? She was kind of really scared to tell him, because she's just like not trying to say it, and he's just like I'm kind of spooked, like, what's going on here? What's going on? She tells Jeremiah she's a mom, and he's like, you're a mom? And he's like, you're 24? And she's like, yes. And she was like, oh, how many? And she's like, just the one. Like, he was so shook.
I am a mom.
Oh my God, hold on, let me, oh my God.
You okay?
You're a mom?
Yeah.
And you're 24?
Yeah. Over 4 years.
How many kids?
1.
The questions, like the how many, is crazy to ask, but he was so shook that she was a mother at 24 years old. And she was just basically like, she really only had a child at 20, to be honest, or 19 really, because she's 24 about to turn 25 and her daughter is 24. So having kids under 30 is kind of like, ooh, no shade, no tea to the ones who do, but no shade, no tea. But he was very spooked by that. So the episode ended in him almost crashing out. But more than likely, Jeremiah's going to stay with Huda. But the first chance he gets with a new bombshell, whatever, he's leaving Huda. He's only going to stay now because it's going to look bad that he upped and leave her, revealing that she's a mom. It's going to look messed up. So he's going to stay with her until a new bombshell comes in, whatever. And he's going to jump to that bombshell. For sure. So he's gonna stay with Huda for now, but they left it out on that cliffhanger because they know what's tea. They didn't even give you a tomorrow night. They just left it dry like that. they left it dry like that. No, you know, tomorrow's night, nothing, no preview, whatever. So we gotta wait for that little first look to see what's going on. But that's the episode, the revelation that Huda's a mother to Jeremiah. So that's crazy. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below and let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. You know, subscribe to my channel, subscribe. And thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.